Hello, happy Monday. Thank you so much for joining me today. My name is Anastasia Aruz, and I am a family therapist as well as a family coach that helps families have happy, healthier lives, help you just feel better about things, less chaotic, more calm. So that's what I do. And today I'm here to talk to you about how to avoid the word no with your kids and why it's important that we do that. All right, I'm going to go ahead and get started. I'm going to share my screen because I love a good slideshow. All right, how to avoid the word no. First of all, why does it matter? Why do we need to avoid the word no? Well, one, it could be triggering, right? So anytime anyone hears the word no, it's very triggering. It can make you mad or upset or frustrated. And so when you're a kid, they feel that too, right? They don't like hearing the word no, just like we don't. If you say it a lot, they're going to tune you out and it's not going to work. They're going to tell them no, and they're not going to care what you say. So if it's something that's said over and over without anything to back it up, it will be tuned out. And then it's not effective, right? It doesn't work. Saying the word no does not work, and they're going to do it anyway. So we don't want to do that. We want to avoid all of that. And so we're going to work on some good communication strategies that you can have with your child to hear them and listen to them and know what they want, but then also have boundaries so they respect you and want to listen to you as well. Growing up in the 80s and 90s, a lot of us were just told what to do. Our parents were in control. You listened, you did what was told, and it was just that's the way it was. It's not the way that is anymore. Things are very different now, and I think it's good. I think it's better. I think we're moving forward because we're respecting each other, both kids and parents and kids. Everyone's respecting each other, and we're communicating better, and we have better relationships with our families. And that is the ultimate goal: is a better relationship and families that are healthy. So let me show you the next one. The brain. I love talking about the brain, and why this is important with the word no is when you make a child upset, you're not making that when you say something that's going to upset them, or even with yourself, right? If you get upset, you're immediately going to go to your brainstem. Your brainstem is that orange part in that picture right there. And that's your survival brain. That's your fight or flight brain. So when you say no to a child, they're immediately going to go there and be like, why not? Why can't I do that? That's not fair. I want that. I need that, whatever it is. And then you're going to try to explain to them why they can't, and they're not going to hear you because they're going to be in that brainstem and they're going to be in that fight or flight mode. And they're going to be like, just wanting to fight you on it. So the point of all this is try to avoid that, right? The point is to have conversation and to avoid getting in that brainstem, getting in that fight mode, and that they want to talk with you and you guys talk about whatever it is. The turquoise part is called the emotional part of the brain, which would be the hypothalamus, the hippocampus, and the amygdala. That's where your emotions are. That's where you feel things. And then the frontal lobe is your thinking part of the brain. That's where you process information. That's when you're able to understand stuff. So if you're in that brainstem, if you're really, really angry, you're not really able to feel anything else other than that anger. And then you're not able to process anything. You don't know why your mom is saying no, or your dad is saying no, and you don't care, right? You don't care because you're just mad and you're in that fight or flight, and you can't process it because you're down in that brainstem. So it's just basically that one part of the brain is only working, just that orange part, not the rest of it. And so we really want to try to avoid that part. And that can happen to all of us, not just kids. Kids, it can happen quicker because they're not able to process as fast because they're younger, right? So we are going to help them with that because they're going to use us as a way to regulate. And we're going to help teach them how to use their frontal lobe and not go into that fight or flight all the time. And the first way of doing that is to avoid saying no. And I'm going to teach you some sentence prompts that will hopefully help you do that. All right, so what can you do instead of saying no? First of all, the point of this is that you're letting your child know that you hear and care about what they're saying. It's all about respecting each other. It's not just one way anymore. It's not just the child has to respect you. You have to respect the child too. And I think I learned this. When I learned this the first time was when I was in schools, right? I was younger. I started teaching when I was like 22, and I worked in schools for almost 20 years. And what I learned about kids is that if they are really going to learn from you, and I learned this as a school counselor too, because after I went out of the classroom, I was around a lot of teachers, and the teachers that were most effective were the ones that the kids knew the teachers cared about what they thought. Okay. And that's going to do the same thing for parenting. The kids would fight and rebel those teachers that constantly had to have that control. Whenever that respect would go both ways, the teachers were so much more effective and the kids liked being there. And that's going to be the same thing in your home. So if you're respecting each other both ways, it will work. And the kids will want to be with you and they'll want to hear you and they'll want to talk to you and explain things. They're not going to just shut you out because they know you're going to say no. And you might even have had teachers like that, or your parents might have been like that. So think about, this could be a great journal activity too, is just journaling how you grew up in this, when you're thinking about the word no, what kind of influence did you have, right? Because as you start to try to do this, if you grew up in a family setting where it was just like, no, 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 it was all about control, this is going to be challenging, right? Because you're not used to it. It's going to be something completely different. So make sure you give yourself grace if you try to change, and it's hard because your brain is so used to doing it one way that it's going to be challenging for it to change. But it can happen with consistency and practice. So don't give up. All right. So you care about what they're saying and you are going to listen to them, right? So even though it might seem irrational and crazy and just silly that they would even want this or need that, to them, it's not. It's really important. So I like to talk about candy, right? So candy to kids is like gold and they're always wanting it. At least in my house, it's always what they want is candy. So I do a lot of, I get it. You want candy. I totally understand candy is great. However, we're not having candy right now. We can have it for dessert after dinner. But we're not having it right now. So let's go ahead and go through some of these prompts that might help you. All right. So I have a few here. They can be used, switched around in all kinds of different situations. I hear you is a great one. I hear you. You want to stay out later than midnight. I hear you. You want to spend the night at a friend's. I hear you. You want candy before dinner. You're hearing them. You're caring about them. You're reflecting what they say. And then you're going to have to give them the next part, which would be like, I hear you. However, this is not going to work because of A, B, or C, but it could work on this time. What do you think? And then they can give you information about what their thoughts are on it. Remember, the goal is to stay out of that bottom part of the brain. So before you automatically say no, think about what you want the outcome to be. All right. So for example, with candy, this is an easy one. Your outcome is you don't want them to have candy before dinner, right? So maybe the candy before dinner is the thing that the child wants, but you don't want that to happen. So you're trying to think of a way to make this not happen without having a temper tantrum or screaming or them just eating the candy anyway. So how are you going to handle it? What are you going to say? I hear you would like candy. We are not having candy right now. That could be one. I hear you want candy. You can have candy for dessert. I hear you, you want candy. Instead of candy, you can have this, this, or this. You would like candy. I hear you. However, we can't have candy now because we're going to eat dinner. I mean, however you want to say it. So you can come up with different phrases. And so the more you do this, the easier it's going to get. And you're going to know how your child will respond to different things. So the next one could be like, you would like to go spend the night at your friend's house tonight. I understand. You want to go see them. You want to have fun with them. It sounds like a really good thing to do. However, we have church in the morning, so you cannot spend the night tonight. But you can let them know that next weekend would be a great thing to do, right? We have time next weekend. It would work on Friday night if you want to do that. So give them an alternative, right? They might not be thinking of the alternative right now because they are just thinking about this one thing that's happening right now. Remember, kids are very present. They focus just on what's going on now. So by you giving them other alternatives will help them process as well. It would be fun if, or you could use that as a prompt. So like, I want to watch TV. I know it would be so fun if you could watch TV right now, but we got to get our homework done. I totally get it. That would be awesome if we could watch TV. And we can watch TV. I think that's a great idea. I love the idea of watching TV, but we need to do homework first. So let's sit down and work for like 30 minutes, and then you can watch TV for a little bit or whatever you want to say. But giving them we're going to watch TV. It's just going to happen at a different time. This is another hungry one. I have a lot of hungry ones. I feel like maybe I deal with that a lot. You're hungry and you would like to have a bar. We have a lot of bars in our house. And so one of the problems I have with my son is he's always wanting to eat a bar, like a granola bar, but then he's not going to eat dinner. So like, I'll say to him a lot, you're hungry and you want a bar. I understand you're really hungry right now. You want to eat dinner. Well, dinner is not ready yet. Okay. Would you like some water? Have some water before we eat? No, I don't want water. Okay. Why don't you go take a break in your room? Just chill for a minute. Dinner will be ready in like 20 minutes. I'll let you know when it's ready. So that's kind of a way I would respond to him if he asked me something like that, but you could change things up. You don't think it's fair. You don't think it's fair that you don't have a Switch. You really want to switch. I totally understand. A Switch would be so much fun, but we have all these other gaming systems that are really fun too. So you could play one of those. I know you don't think it's very fair. You really would like that. Or you don't think it's fair that you can't play outside when it's dark when all the other kids can. I understand you really want to go outside, but it's dark right now and I can't go out and watch you. So I need you to stay inside. And you don't think it's fair. I hear you. I understand. You're angry with me. It makes sense. I get it. But right now you cannot go outside. Another one, you feel angry because your brother hit you. You're very mad. He just hit you. I get it. I would be so mad too if someone hit me. That makes complete sense to me. Why don't you go ahead and go to your room for a few minutes? You're not in trouble. Just go in there so I can find out what happened. And then we'll get back together and I'll let you know. I just need you to calm down a little bit, process through your anger a little bit, and then I'll come back and talk to you and we'll figure out a solution to this problem. And that you can do a lot with the angry piece. So if you have a child that's like gets angry, why don't you go to your room and take a break for a minute? You're not in trouble. I just need you to calm down for a few minutes and I'll be in to talk with you. I'll go ahead and put a timer on. I'll put a timer on for 2 minutes and I'll come check on you to see if your anger has decreased any. If it has, then we can talk. If not, we'll put another minute on and we'll see how you're doing. So because the person is angry, you're not going to be able to talk with them. You need to wait till they calm down. And you're getting frustrated. You're getting frustrated because this homework is so hard. I know it's really tough. I know you don't want to really do it right now. And I could tell you're frustrated. So you're not able to think right now. So why don't you go ahead and go to your room for a little bit or go outside and just take a walk around the house one time and then come back. So you're always giving alternatives and choices or asking them, what do you want? I can tell you're getting frustrated with this homework. What would you like to do instead? I want to watch TV. I know you want to watch TV, but we can't do that right now. What's another thing you could do? Can I go out and kick the soccer ball? Yes, I'll put the timer on. You can go put the soccer ball for like 10 minutes and then come back in and we'll do it again. So constantly having that communication back and forth, right? Of hearing their ideas and you giving them ideas. So it always does not need to be no. Give choices. Like I was just saying, make sure you're giving choices. My daughter would say, hey, or if I had a daughter say, she said, I want to wear a dress to school today and it's freezing. It's like really cold. I know you want to wear a dress, but it's really cold today. Why don't you cannot wear a dress. However, you can wear this, or this. Or you could say yes. You could say yes. So think about why you're actually saying no. Is it about control? Why am I telling her she can't wear a dress? Does it really matter in the big picture? She might be freezing, but it might be a natural consequence and she won't want to wear a dress again. Or she could wear tights under the dress. Sure, you can wear a dress, just put tights under it, or a t-shirt under it so you're not so cold. So think about why you're actually saying no, and then think about all the alternatives that can go with it. So alternatives, agreeing with them. I agree. Having dessert before dinner would be so much fun. I would love that too, but we really need to eat the healthy stuff first, and then we'll have dessert after it's all over. I get it. I want to go outside and play right now too, but we got to get this homework done, and then we'll go out. I get it. I'll let you go out as soon as we're done. Let's put a timer on and we'll work for like 30 minutes and then you can go out. That makes sense. Safe and not safe is another great thing to do. So your kid's jumping on the couch, instead of being like, get off the couch. Hey, your body is not safe right now. I need you to get off the couch because you're not being safe and it's my job to keep you safe. Okay. Or I want to go outside and play. I know you want to go outside and play, but now it's like 8 p.m. and it's pitch black. It's not safe for you to be out there right now. I can't be out there with you. So I'm going to need you to stay inside, but we'll go out tomorrow. It's not safe right now. Safe and not safe are like these magic words. It's really crazy. So trying those are really good too. And then making sure you're reflecting and repeating. So basically it's just like repeating what they say. I really, really want to go to so-and-so's house. I hear you. You really, really want to go to their house right now. but we can't do it. I know it really makes you mad. I'm sorry. I'm sorry that we can't do that right now, but today's not a good day. Next week might be better. And then understand. I understand how you feel. It's really hard. I know when I was your age, it was tough when that kind of thing would happen. Or I understand, I get it. I felt like that yesterday. However, just thinking of ways that you can understand and hear what they're saying. Remember, this is relationship building. You are in control. You do have your boundaries. You are raising this little human, right? But you also have to do this give and take and have respect for them. So then they respect you. All right, you guys. So one more thing is that I offer family coaching. So if you're interested, I can work with you personally and help you develop routines, boundaries, organization in your home. I can help with school success. I can help you understand your child's development. So let me know. I would be glad to work with you. I have space right now. So it's a great time. If it's something you've been thinking about, I do have the time and I have space available. So just DM me, shoot me a message, let me know what's going on, and I'll tell you if it's something I can do. I'm not going to just string you along if it's something I feel like I'm not going to be able to help with. I'll be pretty honest about that because I don't want to waste your time or my time. So have a great day. And I'm glad you joined me today. Thank you so much for joining me. And we'll see you here next week. Bye.